Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Mr. Fasure, you were responding to that situation, that allegation by Mr. Onoja that INEC is inconsistent with the application of its guidelines.
Yeah, I was saying that that question should have been directed at INEC and not me, because, I mean, we are not the one conducting this election, and we made no rules. We are just a party to the election, just like PDP is a party to the election. Now, the question you are raising is like comparing apples to oranges. You see, when elections results, when votes are cancelled in some places, it's different fundamentally. I mean, when votes are cancelled because of malpractices, it's different from when some people have not voted at all. Votes, elections were not held. Some people were disenfranchised. And these people, given their number, if their voices were heard, would have altered the outcome of the election. That's what brought about the rerun. It is different from places where, because of malpractices, results were cancelled. So that's the point. That's the point I'm making.
If I'm getting you right, you are saying that INEC is right to have called these elections inconclusive. Is that right?
INEC followed the rules and explained the laws. The rules he made and under which he came up with that decision. This is very clear and indisputable. It is those who actually out of mischief or, look, let me tell you something. This allegation, this debate is not about the election. It's a small screen. Because they know they are preparing very well for the election and they are out of desperation doing everything. They are mopping up, as we speak, PVC cards in Oshogbo and all the places where rerun will be held.
This same allegations you're making is being thrown by the PDP on the APC in Osun State.
One of their leaders was arrested yesterday by police and caught with 62 PVC cards and huge sums of money, going from house to house, threatening people, abducting people, and forcing them to release their PVC card. This is in the news yesterday. So these allegations they are making about is a small screen. Their ulterior motive actually is to subvert and manipulate the election. So don't
I'll come back to you if you'll please. I'll come back to you. Let's go to Mr. Onoja in Abuja and get your response. Now, he says that basically this is just smooth screen and that you're trying to beat the system. What's your response?
I want to say very categorically, very, very, very categorically, that there is absolutely no truth to what Mr. Fasure just said in respect of a party leader being caught in possession of PVCs and being violent. No, a party leader, and our party is taking a two-pronged approach to this thing. We know we will win the rerun elections on Sunday. On Thursday, we have no doubt. But we also want to deepen the democracy and our jurisprudence, our legal and electoral jurisprudence, by testing the provisions of, this whole inconclusive scenario. We want to test it in court. So we're taking a two-pronged approach. We have no doubt in our mind that we'll win the elections on Thursday. Now, to address the issue regarding the arrest of Alhaji Diekola, he was arrested having been attacked by a group of APC people, a group of thugs loyal to the APC, while he was going on a house-to-house campaign. He was not caught in court in possession of any PVCs. To the best of my knowledge, and my knowledge on the issue is substantial, he was not caught in possession of any large sums of money. He was going on a house-to-house campaign in one of the areas where there's a polling unit that, where rerun elections are supposed to be conducted. We're allowed to campaign, aren't we? We're allowed to campaign. Now, even, I just don't want to call names of media houses, but several media houses yesterday reported the event, said that they were attacked by a group of APC thugs, and while the attack was going on, as many as 3 people suffered gunshot wounds, including a 12-year-old girl. This has been carried by substantially by several media houses. Why anybody seeks to flip that story on its head and throw back the counter allegation in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary, something that I don't understand. Now let us quickly speak about the numbers. Let's come back to the numbers. When we say that the number of votes involved have a substantial effect on altering the outcome of the elections. Yeah, you may look at it and say the total number of votes that were available in the area. But how many people came out for elections on that day? How many people were accredited? In one local government, 76 people were accredited. In one polling unit, 76 people were accredited. In another polling unit, 80. I think in a third polling unit, 56. I can't remember the number. So those numbers are nowhere near the 3,000 odd numbers that are being thrown around. On the day, the votes of the people who came to the polling unit who couldn't vote, having been accredited, was 305. The difference between both candidates is 353. So there's still a 48 vote difference, however you look at it. If you look at it in actual terms, not because there's not going to be a 100% turnout. There's not going to be a 100% turnout. And that day, the turnout of people who couldn't vote was 305. This whole thing is just an attempt to buy time. And again, I'll correct one last impression regarding the Kogi elections. The Kogi elections, the 19,000 votes that were cancelled because of violence. 3 people were killed. 3 people were killed, were shot and died. And so because of the violence, elections couldn't hold in that area. It isn't a case of malpractice that maybe somebody tried to forge results. It is that elections couldn't hold because there was widespread violence, resulting in the death of 3 people. Substantially, if we look at the principles of law and the provisions of the INEC guidelines, there's no difference between what happened in Kogi in August and what is happening in Osun now. One thing is, however, established. INEC did not apply its laws consistently, even its own laws. It leads us to the conclusion that things are always being skewed to favor the ruling party. It's very simple to reach. It's very, very simple to reach.
Trying to understand you when you make those submissions, it seems to suggest that these are double standards you're talking about when you say in the first place that INEC should not judge in the Osun situation based on fairness. And then in the Kogi situation now, you say that it is understandable and it was based on a crime that was being committed at that